Hey guys, welcome to What's Trending on Vanguard Life. I am Precious Chukudi. Of course, trust me to give you all the juicy gist that is happening around town. And of course, we'll be starting with this very sad story. And it's about Bam Bam. She took to her social media platform talking about how she was abused by a nanny as a child between the ages of 2 and 8. And she posted this on her social media. She says, "Look, sex must be consensual even in marriage. Sex must be consensual at all times. Don't manipulate a mind into it, not to talk of children. I stand against pedophilia, child trafficking, child molestation and abuse, sex indoctrination of any form. Hurt and mentally sick people hurt other people. That nanny was clearly abused or possessed and felt it was okay to do all she did to me. We have sick people making laws to permit this sick orientation. Make it stop." Let's see a video of her actually telling this her story.
When I was between the ages of 2 and 3. I believe that woman was just possessed and sick in the head. I don't think she was more than 18 or 19. And she just derived pleasure bullying me. She would not feed me. Whenever she was horny, she would force me to suck her breast. She would use my fists to masturbate. She would tie my mouth and punish me. Like, she just enjoyed torturing me. Clearly, she was someone who was abused when she was younger. And if you've noticed a pattern, hurt people hurt other people. And because I was still learning to talk, and she would tell me that if I told my parents that it's hard that I'll be left with, my parents would go to work, that she would starve me. And poor kid like me, I liked food. And I would cry and I would try to use my body language to tell my parents that I was not okay, but they didn't really understand while I was younger. And one of those days, my parents came back earlier than she thought, and she tied my mouth, turned off the lights, and lied to them that I was asleep. And I was gagging, and I was about to lose my front teeth. I can't remember what age I was when I was already beginning to lose my teeth. That the teeth in front was under so much pressure that it fell, and I swallowed it. It was one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. That it was until I got older and got married that I told my parents about it, because at that time I didn't know how to tell them. Unfortunately, her mistreatment to me made me start to think evil thoughts, because since my parents could not know, since I couldn't do anything about it, I started to wish bad things to her. And I remember one time we were in the balcony of my house. This was in Port Harcourt. My father was posted to Port Harcourt at the time. We were in the balcony and she was eating, and I was looking at her eat, and a fly was perching around her spoon, and she wasn't paying attention, and she ate the fly. For some reason, I felt that that was justice served, but that was not the only time. As I got older, different series of abuse happened to me in my young age.
Like, oh my goodness, I it's a very sad story, really. I feel so bad for Bam Bam, but it's good to know that she's getting the help that she needs. And of course, this is also to, you know, other people who are also going through molestation, to know that you're not alone. To the people who are creating laws and making laws, please, I would also beg that do not allow molesters go scot free. Let them face the music. It's very important. Like, these things are not really easy, especially for victims. It's always very sad. Some people have like PTSDs that they never even recover from it, and it goes on and extends so far. Look at her saying that she couldn't even tell her parents about it. She had to wait till when she was married to have a conversation about something like this with her parents. It's sad, and I just hope that we have laws that would really take out, reduce the level of molestations basically that goes on. All right, let's move ahead and talk about a series that everybody is talking about in town. And if you are in town, you must have seen Shanty Town. All right, Shanty Town is basically, a series that is on Netflix, and people are talking about it because, I mean, if you stayed in the trenches, you'll most likely be able to relate with this series. A couple of scenes that happen. If you've not seen the movie, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, please hurry now and go and see Shanty Town because it's really trending. And this is really good, especially for some of our Nollywood actors like Chidi Mokeme, who, came out and did his thing in the movie. And everybody's like, oh, Chidi Mokeme is a killer. And he does, like he does something good in the movie and all of that, as well as Nancy Sime, Inse Ikpe team, and the rest of them too. Also Messi Ike, a couple of good people who good actors who are also in that movie. But let's take some of the reactions of what people are saying as regard the movie, because if you've not seen Shanty Town, then you're not in town. Let's take this one from V, and V says, nudity is not part of our culture. Shanty Town is about crime, prostitution, corruption, etc. If it's culture you're looking for, go and watch AM Epic and stop disturbing us. Now, this tweet is actually coming from where there's a particular scene in the movie where Nancy Sime was actually naked, and people were talking about it. Are you sure? So Nancy actually went naked just for that role and everything, but Nancy came out to clarify the air and said no, that it was a body double, it wasn't me. But then it was so good. They played it so well, so it looked like it was really Nancy. But you need to go and check that scene, shall. Somebody said if Nigerian men basically watch Shanty Town and or with basically with the buzz of Shanty Town going around, if Nigerian men do not watch it, that means like nothing else can actually break them. Basically, that's what the person was trying to say. But you need to see Shanty Town. All right, let me take some other tweets on this particular movie, and this is from Jessica. Says Chidi Mokeme deserves multiple awards for his role in Shanty Town. He bodied the role of the most terrifying villain to ever grace Nigerian cinemas. It was almost like he wasn't even acting. He was so real. Like Chidi Mukema was extremely real. He was real, and I think that's what we want. Actors that can embed this script, acting like they mean it. This is like their life and all of that. I think Chidi Mukema, if there's anything more than 5-star guy, you got it. Let's take this one from Dotsun Omi. It says, Chidi Mukeme immersed himself in that Scar character. You'd most likely forget what he looks like in real life. Lost in the character, perfect performance. Exactly. It was a stellar performance. He killed it. He killed it like he would never have. But for the fact that he's not been in Nollywood scene for a long time and then he comes back and bam, is a banger. It is something that we need to talk about. Chidi Mukeme killed it. He killed it in the movie. All right, this one is from DO to the TUN, and he says, Chidi Mukeme nailed this character hands down. A great actor is a great actor no matter how long. And I agree that a great actor is indeed a great actor. All right, let's move ahead and talk about Dorcas Fapson and her ex Skiibii. It seems like we're not going to leave this story anytime soon because Dorcas Fapson, there was a video that came out of her actually, speaking about what happened, what transpired between she and her ex Skiibii when they traveled to Zanzibar. Apparently, she said it was supposed to be like a holiday period for her. She got there, she found out that her drink was spiked, she passed out. Next thing, she found out that her wristwatches were stolen, her laptop that she used for DJ was stolen, her Van Cleef was stolen, a couple of things that were stolen, her 10,000 US dollars was stolen too. And later after on, she's coming to the realization that she feels like it was her ex who definitely stole these things. That's what she was saying. And the guy also said that, and she was saying that as at the time when he reported that she reported these things were stolen, he also mentioned that some of his own things too were stolen, but she feels like he definitely was the one who took it. She even came out, and then I think after the interview, when the interview came out, she posted something on her Snapchat and said, a lot of you won't trust if someone ever stole 10k naira from you, talk less of $10,000 cash, a Rolex, Van Cleef, phones, laptop, etc. After flying their broke self out. So please, and it's just funny because if I really decide to talk, she goes on and says a lot of things. She says, if I'm lying, talk, make I bust everywhere today. I have time. And after a couple of hours, Skiibii's management come out with a press release, and they have a couple of things to say about what Dorcas Fapson the claims she's making. And they said in the press release, they said that the label has been inundated by messages and telephone calls from friends and well-wishers regarding an interview granted by one Dorcas Shola Fapson, the extreme lover of our artist, Mr. Abe Elias, aka Skiibii. Now, in the interview, the extreme lover made inference to the fact that she was robbed while on vacation with her ex-boyfriend. Specifically, she stated that her mobile phones, laptop, and other valuables were stolen while she and her ex-boyfriends were asleep at their resort in Zanzibar, Tanzania. And they go ahead to say that Skiibii and DSF once went on vacation to Zanzibar. The trip was paid for by Dorcas Fapson as a gift to Skiibii, and that she paid for the trip because she felt like she wasn't going to be around for Skiibii's birthday. Also, they also noted that after they were robbed and all that, that Skiibii also, had to relocate them to another, villa and all of that. And they also noted that Skiibii also had some items that were stolen from him. That's the two diamond necklaces, one rose gold Cartier wristwatch, diamond rings, 4 pieces, one iPhone, and cash in different currency. And they also hinted that Skiibii also, Skiibii had bought a new phone for her as soon as they landed in Nigeria, and he had also bought a new MacBook Pro laptop, which she never traveled with. That was here, but it was her old laptop that she took that was actually stolen. And it goes on, and they're like, please remain assured that Skiibii is law abiding, is a law abiding citizen, and he will be seeking redress for the defamatory statement made by the extreme lover in the court of law. And the cast has actually come out to say a bunch of things about Skiibii. I understand that it's a relationship issue, and I think they should just solve this whole thing away from social media rather than just calling out themselves and all of that. Yeah, it's a relationship. I mean, it's not everything will go just the same way you want it to be. I mean, your once a knight is shining armor, all of a sudden will just stop being your shining armor. It can happen. These things happen. It is what it is. All right, so that's all we can take today. But also remember that you can equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. You want to find out up-to-date stories? Stay glued to our website, www.vanguardasia.com, to find out more. I'm your girl, Precious Chukudi, and thank you. Bye.